What's up, comic book fans? And it's time for that new comic book day haul plus review. So we're gonna get into the books and give you a little bit about each book. And I got some 50 centers and some other stuff I read this week to share. So we're gonna get into it right after this.
Spartans! What is your profession?
And welcome back. Alright, comic fam. Let's get into the books. And if you like comics, hopefully you're in the place to be. I think this is the place to be. Let's start off with those 50 centers. First off, from Jason Aaron, we got Avengers number 45. Alright, with Blade on the cover. I don't know, this was like a spec book for a hot second. No idea why. I don't know what's important about it. If you know what's important about it, put it down in the comments. Say comments? In the comments. Alright, here we go. This is the last book you'll ever read, issue number 2 by Cullen Bunn. I read issue 1 a while ago. I liked it, so I picked up 2. I think I got issue 3 hanging around somewhere too, so we'll catch up with that. Cullen Bunn is an excellent writer. If you don't know, now you know. Alright, we got Cal Exit number 1. This is the first issue from Black Mask. This is a thick book. It's heavy, like, I don't know. But for 50 cents, couldn't pass it up. Now, these two were pretty cool. This is, and I have more than one copy of this, but I couldn't pass it up again. This is Just Imagine Stan Lee's Batman. So that's pretty cool. Joe Kubert cover. So that was pretty cool to find. And then we also got Just Imagine Stan Lee's Wonder Woman. That's pretty cool too. This is a Jim Lee cover. So that's pretty cool. Alright, and then we read, finally, issue 1 of The Closet. And on my Monday Night Raw books, I just gave away an autographed copy of this, but by Tynan. But yeah, I just read it. I thought it was pretty good. It was set up. Right, it was a good first issue. I think the series is only 3 issues, so I should be done with that very soon. Alright, next up we got, I picked this up this week, but this came out 2 weeks ago. Lazarus Planet Legends Reborn number 1. This is the variant cover with City Boy on it. People want to call him Gotham Boy, but I believe that character is already taken. City Boy. Alright, now some new books this week, alright? Let's get into this week's books. We got DC Universe, Lazarus Planet, Planet Omega. This is like the first time that we got like a true story, I feel like. There's 2 stories in this, but most of the Lazarus Planet books have been kind of these just preludes to other series that are coming out that all, you know, deal with this new DC universe, this dawn of DC, if you will. So this was the first one that actually kind of tied into the very first one, right? So you get the Alpha and the Omega in there, and we kind of have the there's 2 stories in there, and Monkey Prince plays a big role in some of this. But King Fireball, his like origin story, is told in this book. So that was cool. And you got the Devil Nezha, and yeah, it's just kind of covering what happened and then how this is all gonna get resolved. I'm guessing that's what this is. All right, next up we got Dawn of DC. We got Iko Hisegawa as Catwoman. So this is the first. This is a DNA cover too, David Nakayama. But this is the first issue where it's like kind of official, right? Iko's been playing Catwoman for a couple of issues now, but I guess like she's on the cover, or it's official, right? And Dario, who's been in this book, is Tomcat. It's new, like the sidekick, I guess, the techie sidekick. Overall, I like what Teenie Howard's doing with this book. Check it out, especially now if you want a different Catwoman. And Selena Kyle's still in the book, all right? Just in a different role, if you will. I won't give it all away. Next up, we have Dawn of DC Superman. I really like what they're doing with this. Joshua Williamson, I think, did an excellent job writing it, but more more than that, Jamal Campbell is crushing it with the artwork. Just really good. I haven't been this excited about Superman, right, for a while, since Brian Michael Bendis maybe took over Superman. But after reading this, I can say I haven't been this excited about Superman like ever. So even Brian Michael Bendis, in a way, kind of let us down a little bit, I think. In some ways, still excellent writer. I just, I think this is the take on Superman we need. You got Lex Luthor in there talking in his ear, but he's in jail, giving him Luthor Corp, but it's like Super Corp now or something like that. Superman's got to run it. If he doesn't, millions of people lose their jobs. It's a fun story. And I also picked up the 1 in 25 variant. So I forget. Oh, Andy Kubert. Andy Kubert did this cover. And yes, it says $10, and I saved 20% off of that. So I paid $8 for the 1 in 25. I consider that a win. All right, we're gonna keep going. We're in the Indies now, and we have Undiscovered Country number 23. I didn't read this. Usually when I don't read a book, I leave the flap up. But for some reason, I sealed it. So whatever. I'll remember to read it at some point. Then we have Philadelphia number 28. I also did not read this one yet. But then we have Something is Killing the Children number 29, and I did read this one. Erica Slaughter is trying to clean up the mess, the framing that Cutter has done. So Cutter has done a lot of bad stuff and has blamed Jessica for it. And, Jessica manages to clean up the mess just a little bit. And then the House of St. George's is going through the scenarios, and they're like, well, there's a lot of, this Cutter character is out of control, and basically the theory they come to is no matter what happens, whether Jessica dies or Cutter dies, either way it's good for the house. They can spin it however they want, because Cutter's a liability and Jessica Slaughter is seen as a rebel. It's a good issue. Issue number 29. If you haven't been reading Something's Killing Children, I don't know what you're waiting for. It's just been the hottest book for a long time. And it's been optioned. Well, it was optioned, so they actually have released news saying it's moving even more forward than the option thing. So, there you go. If you have Something is Killing the Children number ones laying around and you need some money, go ahead and throw those on eBay. Or however you want to sell them, Next up is a book I was really excited for, and did not disappoint. It is Local Man by Tony Fleece, or Tony Fleeks, and Tim Seeley. I tell you what, it did not disappoint. This is issue C. As you can see, it's kind of a foil variant. The cool thing about this book is, and I read it, but you say the seal is up. You just said if the seal is up, it means you didn't read it. Well, that's because I wanted to take this. I knew in advance I was going to take this out of the bag. Because if you turn it around and also flip it upside down, you've got a second cover. And that's because it's a second story. Alright, and this one is, the second story kind of goes back in time. So basically your main character in here, and I forget his name, it's like Cross, well his, Jack Cross, I think? Cross Jack. So his superhero name is Cross Jack. And I think his real name is Jack Xavier. Somehow he gets thrown off of this team, right? 3rd gen. And that's what the main story's about, right? And I think Tony Fleece is covering that, or Fleeks. I don't know. Somebody throw down in the comments how you really pronounce his name. He did Stray Dogs, all right? And that's what the main story is, and they're covering it. And Tim Seeley's kind of doing the backup story that goes back to like the 90s and it mimics like all the Image stuff from the 90s, and it shows Cross Jack on the team, and the team he was on and what they were doing, and it looks like it was a frat, right? Except for Cross Jack. Cross Jack this is only issue 1, so looks like Cross Jack's the character with some morals, and some stuff goes down, it looks like, and he gets kicked off the team, and he gets blamed for a bunch of stuff, and it's all corporate and all sorts of stuff. But I think it's going to be a good series. I'd read it. I'd read Local Man. That's a good one. Switching gears again, we're on Marvel Comics now. We have Dr. Aphra number 29, On the Edge of Ascendancy. And it looks, Dr. Aphra's had this thing with the Spark Eternal in her, which is this actually like mechanical thing that was created to mimic like Sith powers, and also in a way the good, the Jedi powers, but just so they could fight the Sith, and it was made to basically kill Siths. Dr. Aphra, gets it in her, and this spark also likes to take over your mind, right? So she manages to fight out of the Spark Eternal totally controlling her mind, splits the time with the mind. Now the Spark Eternal finds this like extra power source or whatever in this issue, and it looks like the Spark Eternal may have taken over Dr. Aphra forever. That's probably not happening, but that's the story so far. So this is a good one. I like it. All right. Check out Dr. Aphra. Next up, we have, it's been a two-issue series. 2-issue like guest star series. But this is The Amazing Spider-Man, number 20, with Terry Dodson, whose art, I like his art a lot, but I feel like at times it was a little too erratic in this book. So there's some great artwork and I think it's just his style, but it's just, sometimes it's just a little bit off. And then you got Joe Kelly as the guest writer, and this is the second issue, and it was good. Rachel Dodson's the inker on this, right? But you get some good, you get some bad. Take the good, you take the bad. And there you have the facts of life. Trying to show something that would show the inconsistencies. I don't know. But you got some good panels. There you go. I'll just show you some artwork, and you can decide for yourself, right? But I don't know, like this panel here, just you spend, I don't know, maybe it was under the gun. It's not bad, don't get me wrong, it's not bad. It's just inconsistent for me, right? Like some of it's like super cool, and then some of it's like, oh, well, the proportions are just off. Anyway, it was a really good story. Basically, some tech dudes end up with Sinister Six tech and go around doing LARPing with it, if you will. They do some role play in the woods, in the Catskills. Catwoman and Spider-Man catch on to it, and all hilarity ensues while they try to keep these guys from, killing them. And I don't want to give it away because it's only 2 issues, but yeah, there's a whole like fake death thing happening, and that's why these guys are like fighting Spider-Man and Catwoman for real. But it's a good issue. I would check it out, and also get 19, because then you'll be thrown into the middle of the story and won't know what's happening. All right, Thor 31. Moving on. Groenbeck is still like the lead writer, and Donny Cates is here, probably throwing some plot twists at it. But Thor's going where he's not supposed to. His hammer, Odin, is telling him, "Don't do it." He does it. Some spirits, so people are disappearing from hell. That's why you got these zombies in there, and they're trying to investigate what's happening. That's the big gist of it. If you like Thor in Hell with 1 L, not 2, check out Thor. I think it's actually pretty well written. Last but not least, we have Sins of Sinister. This is probably my favorite Marvel title. I have not been a big fan of the X-Men stuff. Not because I hate it, just it wasn't fitting what I liked. And now it is. It's just very well written. This is a Mark Brooks cover, by the way. Variant cover. Kieran Gillen, I believe, wrote this one. But make a long story short, in Sins of Sinister, Sinister has figured out a way to, get his DNA into the resurrection protocol. Basically, everybody who's coming out is basically under his control, or like, Mr. Sinister clone or whatever. and he has control of everything. And the council, right? He keeps everything pretty much the same. The council has managed to evolve, if you will. So now they all have their own personalities, own traits. And Mr. Sinister, I don't want to give away this if you haven't started reading it. I think we're only on part 4. Basically, Mr. Sinister isn't able to do what he used to be able to do. He used to be able to change stuff. He can't really change anything anymore. So now he's got to deal with these clones / former mutant X-Men, Professor X / Sinister, White Queen / Sinister, and so forth. Colossus / Sinister. And the hilarity is there. White Queen kind of drives this issue, right? But they have like these little traits of Sinister, plus they are who they are. So it's a really good book. I like the direction it's going. Very well written. Love it. This is the B cover, I believe. Yep, B cover. Again, Mark Brooks, and then you can see it's the White Queen with the Sinister outfit. Right? Cool as all heck. Alright, comic fans, that was my new comic book day haul, plus that little bit of review. Alright, if you like what you saw, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, go ahead and throw me a thumbs up and comment down below. Do what you do. I'm gonna do what I do. I'm gonna get ready for next week's books. Peace. What's up,